We'll study the story The Red Trap, which is written by Selma Negoloff. Now, the story is, I'll tell you the summary. First of all, I'll tell you the summary of the story. Children, The Rat Trap is written by Swedish writer Selma Negoloff. And the story is very interesting. You'll find the story very interesting. It reads like a fairy tale. There are many interesting incidents and dialogues in the story, children. The rat trap seller is a homeless tramp. He stays for a night in the cottage of a crofter. That crofter was lonely. Actually, he entertains the guest. Who was the guest? The guest was Rattrap, yes. Like a trusted friend. That crofter trusted Rattrap seller. He tells him all, but in the morning, the peddler, what did he do? He came back. That rat trap comes back and he smashes a window pane and steal the crofter's money. He stole the money of the crofter. Later, there is a turn in his fortune. The iron master mistakes him for an old comrade. The peddler is the iron master's guest for about 2 days. But he once again leaves to pursue his usual profession. What was his usual profession, children? His usual profession was selling rat traps. Beside being a seller of rat trap, children, he used to beg. He used to steal also. He was a thief also. There is a twist at the end of the story. The iron master mistakes him for an old comrade, and what is a twist? There is a twist that the iron master makes him stay at his house for 2 days. So there is a philosophical angle too of the story. The lonely tramp is a philosopher too. Not only does he make a rat traps to sell, he thinks that the world too is a rat trap. That rat trap seller is a philosopher also. He thinks that the world is a rat trap. As rats are lured by pork and cheese, we put cheese or pork to enter the trap. So are men. So are men, we people. We are lured by lands, food, shelter, clothing. So the baits are set in for us also. Those who touch them are trapped. He knew a few persons who were already trapped and others who were trying to bite the bait and get trapped. Now, let's come up to the story. Children, I'll explain you. Once upon a time, there was a man. Once upon a time, there was a man who went around selling small rat traps. Children, what is a rat trap? Rat trap is a trap for the mice. So, he used to sell the traps made of wire. He made them himself at odd moments. Odd means not frequent, sometimes. Odd moments means, here odd means sometimes, used to make it. From the material he got by begging in the stores. He says that he used to make that rat trap by begging. By begging, he used to collect the material from the stores or at the big farms. Not even so, the business was not specially profitable. Now he says that it is not like that. He used to beg. Why he used to beg? Beside selling rat traps, he used to beg also. Why? Because it was not, the business was not gainful. So he had to resort. Resort means depend upon. So he had to depend upon begging and petty thievery. Petty means small theft. Small theft he used to do. He used to steal things to keep body and soul together, to maintain, to overcome hunger. He used to beg and steal. Even so, his clothes were in rags, his cheeks were sunken. He says that his cheeks were sunken means he was weak and his clothes were in rags. They were shabby and hunger gleamed in his eyes. The hunger, you could see the hunger in his eyes. No one can imagine how sad and monotonous life can appear to such a vagabond. Now, monotonous. What do you mean by monotonous, children? Monotonous means dull, boring. So he says that nobody can enjoy that, nobody can imagine how sad and dull life can appear to such a vagabond. Vagabond means tramp. Tramp means one who roams here and there. So, who plods along the roads. Plods means walks. So he says, left to his own meditations, left to his own ideas, no one can imagine the dull life one goes on with. He roams here and there along the road with his own ideas. But what happened one day? But one day this man had fallen into a line of thought. Now I have told you that he was a philosopher also. So he came with a thought that it seemed to him entertaining. That thought seemed to be entertaining to him. Then what was the thought? He had naturally been thinking of the rat traps. He was giving a thought to the rat trap. He was thinking that the rat traps, that the people, he says that the whole world with its lands and seas and its cities and village was nothing but a big rat trap. He says that everybody is caught in a rat trap. That the whole world was nothing but a big rat trap. He said baits. Baits means lures, Lures. Baits. Baits means lures, Lures means lalach. Now he says that everybody, it set baits for people by offering riches. By offering riches and what else? By offering riches and joys, shelter and food, heat and clothing. Exactly as the rat trap offered cheese and pork. So he says that we people, we all are trapped by the riches and joys. We are all we are running after the materialistic things. So it closed on him, then everything came to an end. Now he says that everything came to an end means now he gave it a thought, okay, shrug off the idea then. The world had, of course, never been very kind to him. For him, the world was very tough. Living in this particular world, he says that it was very tough for him. So it gave him unwanted joy to think ill of it in this way. He says that nobody has given him anything in this world, so he is also not thinking about them. He's also not paying heed. They have given him unusual, he says, there is no joy. It came a cherished pastime of his during many dreary ploddings. Now he says that the world has become a nurtured, cheerless ploddings. He says that now he was rather very confused. He was feeling dejected. He was feeling dejected. Why he was feeling dejected? Because he says that nobody has ever treated him well. He is plodding here and there, and nobody is helping him out. He is going through that cheerless ploddings. And the people he had left him, they have left him all alone, and he is trapped. Snare means trap. Now he is saying that the people they are caught in a trap, and he himself is caught now. Now, one day, what happened was one dark evening as he was trudging means walking. So, what happened was one day when he was walking along the road, he caught sight of a grey cottage. That cottage was by the roadside, children, and what happened was then he knocked on the door to ask shelter. So nor was he refused. He was not refused by that man, and that man asked him to step in. Instead of the sour faces, what do you mean by sour? S-O-U-R. Sour means, rather you can say, man, sour means khatta, but here it means unpleasant. So he was expecting that unpleasant face by his arrival, but instead of the unpleasant faces, which normally he used to see when people used to meet him, they used to give him unpleasant face. They used to meet him with unpleasant face, rather. The owner, who was an old man without wife or child, was happy to get someone to talk to his in his loneliness. So that person who was a host, he used to live all alone. He welcomed the rat trap. Immediately he put the porridge pot on the fire and gave him supper. Supper means dinner. So he offered him dinner, and he put the pan and he started preparing porridge. Porridge means dalia. So then he carved off such a big slice from his tobacco roll. Carved means cut. Then he gave him some tobacco also to smoke, and it was both for the stranger's pipe and his own. He gave some tobacco also to smoke for his pipe. Finally he got out an old pack of cards and played majlis with his guest until bedtime. Until bedtime they played the game. They played cards. The old man was generous with his confidences as with his porridge and tobacco. So he was very generous. Why he was generous, children? He was very generous because he did not hide any of his secrets. So he was generous with his confidences means he told the rat trap his secrets. The guest was informed at once that in his days of prosperity, his host had been a crofter. Children, what do you mean by crofter? Crofter is a person who works on a small farm. He is a person who works on a small farm. So he told him that once he was a crofter at Ramso's iron works and had worked on the land. And he used to work over there. Now that he was no longer able to do day labor, now he says that he has grown old and he is not able to work. So he had a cow, and with the cow he used to sell the milk, and that cow supported him. How can a cow support a person? Cow can support a person by selling milk. He used to get money, and from that money he used to earn his living, and he used to meet his daily expenses. Yes, that Bossy was extraordinary. She could give milk for the creamery every day, and last month he had received all of that corner in the payment. Now he says he was not able to work hard now, and that cow was something beyond imagination, and she used to give the milk. He used to he could give the milk for the creamery. Creamery means the place where cheese and butter are made. So he used to supply that milk over there, and last month he had got 30 kroner. Kroner means coin, children. So he had received 30 coins in payment. Now the stranger must have seemed incredulous. Incredulous. Children, incredulous. It was unbelievable. Incredulous means unbelievable. So it was unbelievable for that stranger. Who was the stranger, children? The stranger was Rattrap, seller. For the old man got up and went to the window. The next day, he took out a leather pouch which hung on a nail in the very window frame. Now he took out that pouch and which was hung over there, and he picked out three wrinkled 10 kroner bills. Now he took out that bills. These he held up before the eyes of his guest only. He revealed his secrets, and he took out the bills from that particular pouch. Then he held up before the eyes of his guest, nodding knowingly, and then stuffed them back into the pouch. Then he kept the pouch back. Now, the next day, both men got up in a good season. The crofter was in a hurry to milk his cow. Now, what happened was the next day, both men got in a good season. Good season means, children, early in the morning. Both of them got up early in the morning, and the crofter was in a hurry to milk his cow. And the other man probably thought he should not stay in bed, because when you are a guest, in case if your host gets up, then you are supposed to get up. He should not stay in bed, and he also got up. He left the cottage at the same time. Now, what did the Rattrap seller do? He left the cottage. And he went away. The crofter locked the door and pulled the key in his pocket. Now the crofter locked his room, and he kept the key, and he started working. The man with the rat trap said goodbye and thank you, and thereupon each went his own way. Now the rat trap seller left the house and he followed his way. Now what happened, children? But half an hour later, the rat trap peddler stood again before the door. He did not try to get in. Now he stood, the peddler. Peddler means seller. Peddler means seller. So he stood there. He did not open the door. He rather smashed. Smash means broke. He broke a window pane, shisha. He broke the window pane, and he got hold of the pouch. He took the pouch out, and he took out the 30 kroner. Kroner means coin. He took the money and thrust into his own pocket. He put the money into his pocket, and then he went away. He hung the leather pouch there only. Carefully he hung the pouch, and he went away. As he walked along with the money in his pocket, he felt quite pleased. He was very much pleased that he had what he had done. He had stolen the money. He was pleased with his cleverness. Smartness means cleverness. He realized, of course, that at first he dare not continue on the public highway, but must turn off the road into the woods. Now he thinks that woods means forest. He says that he had done this task. Maybe that old man chases him. So he says that I should opt for the woods. Rather, I should go into the forest. During the first hours of this caused him no difficulty. Initially, he did not find any of the problem, and later in the day it became worse because that forest was impenetrable. It was not coming to an end. He tried to be sure to walk in a definite direction. He was trying his level best to walk in a definite direction. But the paths twisted back and forth so strangely. The path was, he was not able, that forest was not coming to an end. There were trees and leaves, and it was odd. The ways were odd. He walked and walked and walked, and it was not coming to an end. He had let himself be fooled by a bait. Now he thought that he himself was trapped. The whole forest was full of trunk and trees and leaves. Thickets means woods. and fallen logs. The pieces of woods were lying over there, and it was impenetrable prison. Children, impenetrable means which cannot be passed through. So he was thinking that he was caught in a prison from where he can never escape. He could not escape from there. So now I'll be sending you the assignment. These are the questions which I'm going to send you. You are supposed to do these questions, and I hope that you have understood the lesson. We'll begin. The later half I'll be explaining it tomorrow.